Demon Knights number 15, written by Paul Cornell, art by Bernard Chang. This is another part of the Black Diamond probability. And last issue we left off with everyone arriving in Avalon. That is to say, the Questing Queen and her army, Lucifer and his army, the Demon Knights themselves, and an entire army defending Avalon of, I think they're called like Silent Knights or something like that. Regardless, the fight immediately breaks out. Everyone's attacking everyone else, and Xanadu gets the Demon Knights just up and out of the middle of the crossfire. And it seems that nobody particularly cares that the Silent Knights are there. The Questing Queen's going after Lucifer's army, and Lucifer's army is going after the Questing Queen. So they're just going up at each other. And Etrigan, who's trapped by the Queen, is like, hey, did you make my chains hellfire proof? And it's like, yeah, of course I did. Be stupid of me not to. And it's like, right, but not normal fireproof. And then he just jumps up in front of one of her mechanical dragons that's about to shoot fire and gets all of his chains burnt off. And he flies over to Lucifer, and Lucifer's like, hey, what the heck, bro? Seems like you betrayed me. And he's like, I didn't. This just wasn't part of my plan. And he's like, yeah, sure. After you so easily managed to escape those chains, nah, you betrayed me. You're out. And Etrigan's like, I'm not out. You're out. I will never work for any other man again. So at that point, he's on his own. Meanwhile, the Demon Knights, who have taken up on top of this like weird floating cliff thing, they're like, all right, well, we have Merlin's body, and now it's getting like a little bit glowy. So maybe his soul is reconnecting to it. Like, yeah, maybe it's coming back. But regardless, it has sent out a signal that comes out of the sky of Arthur. King Arthur and his Knights of Avalon have come down. And now there are a fourth army coming in to attack this crazy battle. And Vandal Savage is looking on. He's like, this is King Arthur versus Lucifer. I'm pretty sure I should jump in just so the historians have something cool to talk about. And Exaristos then starts like freaking out. She's like, no, our only thing is we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here right now, back to the main world. Let's do it. And I was like, you cool? And she's like, yeah, I'm a little bit not okay right now. And Merlin's body starts talking, saying water. And Sir Euston tries to give him water. He's not having it, though, because it turns out he's not talking about drinking water. He wants water to come from the sky. He wants rain. And so Al-Jabir pulls out a device that basically explodes in the air and makes a cloud of rain. And everyone's like, wow, that's pretty good. Almost magic. Almost. And as it starts raining everywhere on the ground, King Arthur goes and attacks Lucifer and the Questing Queen, and just being like, all right, well, stand down. This is Avalon, and I'm Defender of the Realm. And they're like, screw you, man. Lucifer grabs King Arthur by the throat, and Arthur just cuts off his arm. And we see everyone is now in the middle of the fight, and Horsewoman is like, hey, Al-Jabir, you cool? And he's like, I am just now coming to terms with the fact that magic is real, and I'm not even like anywhere close to on par to that. How am I supposed to deal with that? And Horsewoman's like, oh, easy, don't think about it. And they just keep fighting. And Etrigan goes after Merlin, grabs his body, and flies up in the air and just being like, this was my real plan all along. I knew that Xanadu was under her own free will. I just wanted you, Merlin. And Merlin's like, Etrigan, you're an idiot. Like, none of that's true. You're just making stuff up now because you feel guilty. And he uses his magic to cause a lightning strike that hits both himself and Etrigan. And as they go back down to the ground, Etrigan starts to stand up, and Jason Blood just punches him in the face and tells him to go to hell. So at this point, Merlin's like, here's the thing, guys. I wasn't asking for rain just to make it dramatic. The rains of Avalon have a very specific purpose, and that is to wipe away any sort of spells or magic that is going on. So all of the devil's like powers and stuff like that, all of the Questing Queen spells just stop working, and they're just more or less normal people in the Reigns of Avalon. And Mordru, he sees this and he's like, okay, we're going to bail, bye. And he just takes the Questing Queen and teleports out. And then Lucifer stands there and he's like, I could still kill you guys. I still have an army of demons. And they're like, yeah, you're going to lose all of those demons just because of Avalon, like everything that entertains you. And Lucifer's like, fair enough. I'm going to be back one day, though. Anyway, I've already set 2 other plans into motion. Bye. And he just goes through a portal out. And at this point, everyone's like, all right, cool, we did it. We defended Avalon. Now we got to get the hell out of here. And Etrigan's like, no, I'm going to attack Merlin or whatever. And Merlin's like, here's the thing, guys. You ever see Doctor Who? Once you go through enough crap of dying and coming back and whatnot, you kind of got to regenerate. So guess it's that time for me. And he starts his magical regeneration and turns into Adam from Stormwatch #1. This is literally the moment of creation of Stormwatch. This is the lead in. So at that point, Adam's like, yeah, I'm still Merlin, but now I'm just going to go by Adam, and I'm younger, and I'm cooler, and I'm hipper, and I have more power, too. And he takes Etrigan and just immediately throws him away, and just like, yeah, you're nothing. And King Arthur's like, hey, Siriuston, before all this is done and settled with, I'm going to knight you, like, officially. So Siriuston gets knighted by King Arthur as a Knight of the Storm. So he's to watch for the storm of these things. And he literally lists off all the different categories of the people of Stormwatch: the Eminence of Blades, New Apollos, Doctors of Magic, and an Engineer. Because Algebir and all that. Like, it's just Stormwatch. So anyway, at that point, Adam's like, yes, you are watching for the storm, my Stormwatch. Excellent. One more thing I got to take care of. And he fuses back together Etrigan and Jason Blood before they even have anything to say about it. And he's like, you guys still have a fate that you need to fulfill. Need you guys to stay together. And Jason's like, oh, that sucks, but all right. If I have a fate, if I have a destiny, sure, why not? Let's go. So Adam sends them all back to the real world. And they're like, awesome, cool, we did it. We saved the day. Let's go back to that city that told us to go find out if Merlin's alive and tell them that he's cool and good over in Avalon. But immediately everyone's like, actually, hold on. Jason and Xanadu, they're going to just peace out for a while. They're not going to be soldiers for Merlin because they feel like he screwed them over. Exaristos reveals, hey, I've got the Black Diamond. Does anybody remember Black Diamond? Probably. I have it, and I feel awful about doing that, so I should be on my own as well. And Siriuston steps in and is like, no, I'll be with you. We can burden this together. And Exaristos like, cool. And everyone's just kind of agreeing to go their separate ways, except for a horsewoman who's like, guys, we were literally just told that we're part of Stormwatch. Like, that's our destiny. And you guys are throwing it away? You're idiots. You suck. And she rides off. And the thing teasing next issue is 30 years later. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. I really enjoyed it. I think that this was a super great issue. It's a bit weird in that this is the Stormwatch tie-in. Like, in Stormwatch, we were told that they started as the Demon Knights, and we were kind of given a little bit of backstory there, but this is the moment where it's like, no, now you guys are Stormwatch, and that book's just its own thing. So I like that kind of interconnectedness. I like to see when that happens. I do think that it was it was well thought out enough. The armies had reason to go their own ways, and that they lost their powers. It made sense the whole way through. I don't really have an issue with any of it. The only problem I think I would have is the fact that the Silent Knights, the ones that were there before Arthur came in, just kind of weren't used at all. But hey, that's whatever. So I'm going to give this one an 8, just because I really, really enjoy when continuity is just super on point like that. Of this has bridged the gap between this 1600s team and this modern day team effortlessly. So yeah, really enjoy it and looking forward to seeing what happens in the next arc.